What's up, guys? Coach Az. We've got a bit of a sensitive question this time. The question is, or the statement is that kind of provides a question is, I've been knocked out and it's changed me. Now, this guy went on to explain that he'd been knocked out in competition, got knocked out bad, as in he was out cold, out for a good few seconds, very little memory of initially before and a lot of after, very normal. And then he said, I took some time off, I've come back to the gym, and he says, I'm different. I'm constantly hyper aware and very sensitive about getting knocked out again, and it's changed my entire approach to fighting and training, and not in a good way. He said in a negative way. I can't attack anymore. I don't feel confident going forward. I'm very sheepish and very jumpy in my defense. Like he said, he's biting on everyone's fakes now, and his arm is like pinned to the side of his head. But that now means that he's eating up a whole bunch of body shots and getting hit on the other side. He's like, I've never been hit as much as I'm getting hit now since being knocked out. It's driving him crazy, and he doesn't know what to do about it because it's not getting any better. He spoke to his coaches about it, and his coaches have said, give it time, it's going to pass, you're going to get through it. But he's like, I need to get on with this because I'm concerned that it's not going to pass. Dude, firstly, I sympathize with you. Literally sympathize, because I've been there. I have been knocked out cold, both in training and in competition, and it sucks.
Sucks camel dicks!
It's not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling because you really have no control over it, in the sense that maybe you made a mistake. You probably did because you got knocked out, right? You made a mistake in that second and your opponent capitalized on it. And in that split second, that one little mistake, you're out cold. It's not like it was a mistake and you take a hit and you're like, oh no, correct it, move. You got me, but I'm good. It's over, game over. You don't get the chance to go back on it, right? Then you don't feel great for at least 2 weeks afterwards. I don't know about you, but it made me depressed. And I know part of that is actually symptoms of the concussion, that you actually, you feel a depression. And then on top of that, you got knocked out probably in front of friends, in front of coaches, you got knocked out in front of people. Unfortunately, it's 2021, so undoubtedly it's on video somewhere. You might even be watching a replay of it, right? There's a lot that goes into it that sucks. I'll tell you one thing, right? That I think on the whole of YouTube, there's one video of me fighting, and it's a points fighting fight. Now, I've done full contact K1. I fought in rings. I spent more time doing that than I ever did this points fighting stuff. But I really enjoyed points fighting. I always found it really fascinating. I'm still a huge proponent of it. We teach it to our kids because we believe that it teaches you a lot of strategy. I'm not going to go into it. That's the one video of me fighting. And it's because I used to fight in a day where if you were going to record me fighting, you had to have a VHS, right? You had to have an analog video camera, and that had to somehow then get converted to digital and uploaded online. So there's not a lot of footage of me fighting out there, and I am so grateful for it. I've got a bunch of videos and a bunch of DVDs of my fights recorded. I have no interest in posting them on the internet. Not because I'm losing or winning or anything like that. It's just I like that my fight career, majority of it is in my memories. Okay, it's in my head, and I've got it when I want to watch it. I don't need the whole world to see it. Who knows? Let's get to 100 million subscribers, and I'll share some fights on the channel with you guys. Now, it's difficult because people are getting knocked out all the time, and it's getting recorded all the time. And then there's channels dedicated to exposing you, and top 10 amateur knockouts of the month, you're going to appear on a trending video. All I'm saying is, I've gone off on a tangent there, but there is a lot of psychological impact in getting KO'd, and I think it's been increased these days by technology. So feel completely cool with what you're going through because it's normal. Now, your question is, how do I get past it? How do I fix it? My first question is to you, how long did you take off before you went back to the gym? Be honest. How long did you take off? Because I get the feeling you took a couple of weeks. I get the feeling you waited until the concussion had passed or the doctor had said you were cleared and you went straight back to the gym. You went back too early.
If you can pick it up, you can take it.
Deal.
I can almost guarantee it, because I also know that psychology of you want to right the wrong. You want to right the wrong. You want to get back in the gym. You want to get back to training. It's the wrong approach, dude. You need to give yourself plenty of time to recover. A brain injury should be treated, in my opinion, like a broken bone. You take a big hit to your brain and your brain goes, nope, switching off, sorry, don't want part of that, okay? You go through that experience and you wake up the next day with a headache, with that sad feeling, with your eyes not being quite right. You've had a traumatic brain injury, in my opinion, and you should treat it like a broken bone. You should, for the first 2 weeks, you should do nothing. Nothing. I mean, you shouldn't be doing anything that requires any brain power. You should basically be a human vegetable. The same way you'd put your arm in a cast and you wouldn't do anything with it. You wouldn't start lifting weights with it or moving it around, because that would be stupid, because it needs time to heal. After those 2 weeks, you're not going to the gym, you're just getting on with normal life stuff. All right, you go back to work, you go back to just functioning as a normal human being, and you make sure everything's cool. After a month, start doing some cardio training. Start going for some runs, maybe start lifting some weight. Do anything but go to the gym. I'm being serious. I know this sounds OTT, but it's not. We don't take them seriously enough, and that's the detriment. That's the mistake. Our whole attitude towards getting hit in the head is wrong. And this is from someone who does this full time. Like, I make a living out of people punching and getting punched in the head. So it's not like I'm biased and trying to... I want to minimize it, and it's as someone who does it full time. So understand that we've got the wrong attitude towards it. Rest up a lot. 6 weeks to 2 months. Now come back to the gym. But guess what? You're not sparring. You're not sparring. Of course you're not sparring. You're hitting pads. You're doing bag work. You're doing drills. You are not getting hit in the head yet. Let's say it's been 3 months since you've been knocked out. I know that sounds like a ridiculous amount of time. 3 months, we can start sparring. Do you know one of the best things about waiting that long is? It gives you a bit of time to forget. You're talking about all this flinching and reacting and responding. You've got PTSD, basically, right? You've got this post-traumatic stress disorder, because every time you see someone throw a similar movement or lift their, whatever it was, you didn't say if you got kicked or punched, lift their leg up in a certain way or throw their arm in a certain way, you're like, no, not again, right? And of course, what that's doing is you're biting so hard on that fake, it's opening up your body, you're not thinking about the other side of your head, and like you said, you're getting hit way more than you should be. So if you took that sufficient break, if you really took that time off, your mind would have just let a lot of that go, and you would have had more chance of coming back to where you were previously. Now, even if you didn't, you have to adjust the way you come back into sparring. You need to talk to your partners and go, guys, I'm just getting back into it. Can we just go slow? Can we just work a little bit of technique? Can we work some stuff? And then build your way back up to the rounds. The last thing that you need to do is you need to address what happened in a constructive way. So what I mean by that is painfully watch the video or talk to your coach and get a play-by-play of what happened to you and correct it. Figure out what technique you threw that caused you to leave yourself open and eat that shot. Figure out at what point your guard dropped or your head didn't move or your feet didn't respond, and make the correction in drills. Drill it inside out. And what you do by doing that is you provide yourself with an inner confidence that when that happens again, when that reoccurs, you've got the tools and the weapons to ensure that that doesn't happen again. That this time when that kick is thrown, it's going to hit the guard. That this time when that punch is thrown, your head's going to circle off of that line, your feet are going to move out of the way. But you need to drill that confidence into yourself. You can't just go back into sparring with the hunger, but without the knowledge of what you did wrong, because otherwise you're just going to repeat the same thing, and guess what? You're probably going to eat the same shot. The big problem here for a lot of people is patience, guys, and ego. You take a huge hit to your ego, and your ego, it's fueled to try and to rectify that situation as quick as possible because you want to go back to who you were before as quick as possible. But you're not who you were before. And in a lot of ways, that's a positive thing because you should be smarter. Yeah, you should have a higher fight IQ because of it. And you should be a bit more tentative because guess what? Eating shots to your head is not a good idea. And if you're fighting in a way where that happens, you're going to have a short-lived career. And after your career, you're probably going to have a lot of problems. I hope this didn't come off as too much of a rant. And to the person who posted the question, I'm not attacking you or telling you that you're wrong. I'm just trying to give you some advice that if you go through this again, or if you could now take a step back and approach it in a different way, this is the way I would go about it. And to all of you that have never been knocked out, you've never experienced this, keep this video like pinned somewhere for when that day comes so that you can revisit it, because I promise you when you come out of that you're going to feel a certain way. You're going to feel like you want to get back, you want to attack it, you want to fix it straight away. Especially, you know, I'm sure there's some girls who watch this channel, but I know from the analytics it's primarily guys. We're fixers. We want to fix things straight away. You can't fix this straight away. You can, but it's through that long process that I've outlined previously. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. Dude, I hope that you are recovering well. Please take some time off of sparring and recover before you jump back into it. This is no joke. You only get one of these. It's very hard for them to fix it. Like the video, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.